we did have a Frank Vogel firing today.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, it was his fault that Bradley Beal fouled out of Game 4, had 6 turnovers, and played one of the 3 or 4 worst games of this decade. I went through all the great players and tried to answer the question, who's had the most coaches since the 2014 playoffs? So exactly 10 years from right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it would count if your coach was in the 2010 playoffs. Our leader is Kevin Durant at 8. And that's not counting the 9th coach that they're about to hire. Coming in second, Kyrie Irving, also 8. Now, he was traded a couple times, but 8 coaches for him. A surprise third place guy was Devin Booker with 7, and we're about to have number 8.
That's not Devin Booker is managerial incompetence. They just kept screwing that thing up.
Okay, I'm just a stats guy right now.
I don't think Devin Booker's a coach killer, but Cook.
Well, he's about to be 8. He's about to be on number 8. James Harden and Russell Westbrook both tied for 7. At 7 for tied for 4th place. And then LeBron is at 6 plus the new coach, so he'll be at 7. Giannis and Butler both 5. Dame, AD, Kawhi 4. Embiid 3. Curry 2. Tatum 2. Jokic 1. He's had 1 coach. Biggest surprise for you on that list was Booker?
Yeah, Booker for sure. Just because, it's not like he's been this powerful entity in the NBA for his whole career, right? Like, he came in as like the 14th or 13th pick or whatever it was, and then outperformed expectation for a while. Guys like Bill Simmons was saying he was a good stats, bad team guy, right?
He was. I don't apologize.
He was. But then he became an obvious all-star, all-NBA kind of guy. And so,
great.
I don't begrudge, but I'm surprised.
And we called him a good stats, good team guy. Trae Young. What's Trae Young now? Because he was a good stats, bad team guy. Then made the playoffs, so he was a good stats, good team guy. Now he's a good stats, mediocre team guy.
I think he's needs some humility in a new scenery guy, for sure.
Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
He changed agents this week. CAA. There was only room at clutch for 1 between him and Murray. House, what was your biggest surprise in that list?
It was definitely Devin Booker. I didn't recall. It's a combination for Devin Booker of how long he's been on the league, and I probably have forgotten how long he's been in the league, but also like that institutional, that kind of rotating coach chair in Phoenix, because he's only been with 1 team, right? Devin Booker, only 1 team. Yeah. That's a lot of coaches for a guy who's only been in the league for,
Well, remember he had that Igor guy that one time?
Yeah.
Coach Igor? Yeah. That guy was in there.
They tried them all.
Well, KD's going to be on coach number 9. As you know, I'm accused in some circles of being a KD supporter, even a KD stan. This Vogel thing's a tough one to defend. It just is. Because Vogel's a good coach. And I just don't know how you go from winning a title to being the problem in 2 different cities in the span of 4 years. Skip Bayless had an incredible tweet that someone sent me where he talked about Frank Vogel won a title in the bubble, and then since then he's been fired twice. And if that's not all the proof you need that the bubble was a fake title, that's it. I was like, I really admire the craftsmanship of that crazy tweet.
The dedication is just impeccable.
Really, just in the lab pumping that one out. But yeah, my guy KD House. I don't know, man. It's a lot of coaches.
The question is, with that situation, nobody really had Frank Vogel as landing in Phoenix, right? There was the undercurrent with the new owner was that there was another guy. There was an in-house guy, right?
Kevin Young, and then all of a sudden Doc was involved. And poor Doc, who could have had his choice of like Phoenix or the Lakers, I assume one of these, and then went to Milwaukee and everybody got hurt. Now he's stuck in Milwaukee. But it sounds like Phoenix did the thing where they fired Vogel, and then like 3 minutes later, it's like, word is they're very interested in Coach Bud. And so now you know he's getting the job. He's putting he's from Arizona. So Coach Bud is now a good coach? again?
I don't think he was ever a bad coach. I think the
Bucks
situation
fans ran him out of town. Bucks Reddit was just annihilating him.
The situation in Milwaukee kind of ran its course, and the Bud's value was realized when the Bucks were playing the most undisciplined offense in the NBA, despite having some success, because you could do that against some of the mediocre NBA defenses when you have that much talent. But they were so undisciplined in like their spacing principles and like stuff like who would even bring the ball up and who guys breaking off of plays. Like they were just undisciplined. It was obvious the stuff that they hated Bud for, which was being a stickler, turns out it actually worked. And the Suns had the worst fourth quarter offense in the NBA this year, which is insane when you consider their offensive talent. So if they could get a task manager that have them just like being in the right spots and running good stuff, I think that's like found money. That's like an easy way to just get way better than what they did last year. So I'm not completely against the hiring. I'm just skeptical that a culture, a team unity, a togetherness can be crafted from bringing Bud in with this particular group. Just look at the Timberwolves and how they've all galvanized around Ant and his personality. Sorry, love KD, one of the biggest bags, best bags, most skilled bags in the history of offense. He's never proven himself to be that kind of person. I don't know that Devin Booker has it in him to be that either. Who's going to be the person that makes the Suns into a team, a unit, a connected group?
Yusuf Nurkic?
I don't know that you could bring Bud in. Yusuf Nurkic.
Bradley Beal? I think Bud's a really good coach. I don't think he's one of the top 3 coaches, but he's a really good coach. And I don't know if it's going to matter when you have a team that's built around 3 guys, one of whom is 36, one of whom is Bradley Beal. I don't. And the other thing is, and we talked about this a couple pods ago, House, but like Minnesota, OKC, Denver, even the Celtics, like there's just young, deep, athletic, awesome teams. And that just putting together that goofy big 3 model where one of the big 3 is Bradley Beal, who you can't trade because he has no fucking trade clause that you didn't even ask him to drop when you did the trade. And then Durant, who was in the 2007 draft.
You don't think the Bartlesteins should have been negotiating against each other?
Right.
In the execution
of
that trade?
Didn't work out. Yeah. Worked out for Bradley Beal. But I just don't like. There's no way to improve that team. So congrats, your offense is going to look a little better, but you're still not beating anybody. House, do you buy anything into Minnesota was so awesome? Maybe Phoenix feels better about themselves now.
No,
maybe it's like, it wasn't that bad.
That's nonsense talk. No, it was that bad. We watched it. It was bad. I'm bummed because I wanted Coach Bud to come here to Washington. And you know,
maybe you get JJ Redick.
Doesn't seem like a good match. I don't know. I want somebody that can come do some nurturing. I don't want a guy that you know. No offense to JJ, obviously, but this is not a learn on the fly.
Why not?
Kind of job. We need an adult. It's time for an adult associated with the Washington basketball team. We finally have it on the football side. I'd like one trustworthy adult. We have it now in the decision makers. You know, the GM office here in Washington, but we need a good coach.
I did a YouTube short a week ago about how I thought LeBron should become the player coach of the Lakers because he's clearly just never going to be happy with a coach. And I also don't know why anyone would want to be the coach of that team at this point when it's the ultimate no-win job. And then there was some player coach momentum this week in other circles. And I think it's illegal with team rules, but I was thinking, like, could they make Maverick Carter the coach? So basically, LeBron's the player coach. Maverick's pretending to be the head coach, but really LeBron's running it. And he gets to hang out with his buddy, and then his buddy would have job security because LeBron takes care of his boys.
The one problem with the LeBron as player coach is that there leaves no room for somebody to throw the blame or throw under the bus.
Well, he could blame himself as the coach. It could be like the end of Primal Fear when Ed Norton's blaming the other version of Ed Norton.
That's my only issue with that one is that LeBron would have it'd be too easy to point to LeBron and his ambition and all of that, power hungry and all of that stuff if it didn't work out. So, and we know LeBron's not in the business of taking the blame or taking the fall for things that don't go right. So that's why I personally can't see it.
Okay. So you don't see it either. I wish they would change the rules. I mean, Bill Russell won 2 titles as a player coach. It's the thing that succeeded. When I was growing up, Dave Cowens was a player coach for us for like 2-3 months. It was cool. He would come out of the game, towel off. He'd have a clipboard. It was neat. One of those things. Maybe Corey Kispert could be the Wizards head coach.
I don't get this trolling.
Kyle Kuzma.
I don't get.
So you're anti-player coach? I don't understand.
I mean, this is a whole bit with LeBron. LeBron didn't drive Darvin Ham out. They have a you properly.
No, but Pelinka.
That's correct.
Drive them out.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
yes.
there's. I think Pelinka is the one because when you're the GM, you want to keep your job. If things aren't going well, you spend the most time with the owner. You spend more time with the owner than anybody else. You're like, man, what the fuck was that coaching thing today? Ugh. These adjustments in the fourth quarter. You're just like planting the seeds with Genie.
People yelled at me when I said Darvin Ham did a pretty decent job on the Lakers. And basically they said his cardinal sin was that he went away from the Western Conference Championship lineup. That was the cardinal sin. That
did anyone watch Rui in the playoffs? He sucked. Did anyone watch the games? He was terrible.
Breaking news. He sucks.
He was
like,
bad.
Congratulations.
People are like, oh, we got to get back to the Western Finals thing. It's like, you mean when he got hot for like 3 games?
Yeah. That's what people said was Darvin Ham's unforgivable sin. He took Austin as a 6th man because Austin wasn't defending to start the year, and he was trying to establish a defensive identity. And D'Lo and come on, man. It's not like these guys were world beaters. But yeah, allegedly this is D'Lo coming off the benches. You just can't do it. Can't accept it.
Ridiculous.